Okay, good afternoon all. Yesterday, we have discussed about the formation of fibers using singular transformation. Okay, so whenever you are asked to explain about the singular transformation using, fibers, whenever you are asked in your, suppose in your university question papers or in your internal examinations, uh, if you get the question of explaining Weber's formation using singular transformation, you need to explain each and everything. Okay, so don't bother about that. I will give you the material regarding that particular singular transformation. See, the formation of Weber's is mm, basically which contains that means you can find the fibers using two ways. The first way is using direct inspection method, and second one is singular transformation. So when we compare both the methods, singular transformation and the direct inspection methods, obviously we are very much convenient with the method of direct inspection. Why? Because directly the power system network has been given, and you can visually directly you can write down that fibers using fibers of that particular power system network. Okay, but that is not in the case of singular transformation. Why? Because in singular transformations you are having a lot of assumptions and you need to remember the lot of definitions. Okay, and by using all those definitions and the assumptions, you are going to determine that y bus is equal to A transpose into y into A. So where A is nothing but element node incidence matrix, right? And sorry, A is nothing but bus incidence matrix. A bar is nothing but element node incidence matrix. First of all, you people have to analyze the difference, clear-cut difference between the element node incidence matrix and the bus incidence matrix. Now, in this class, we are going to see, already I have started a problem. I have given you a problem, and I asked you to determine the Y-bus matrix, but I don't know how many of you have solved that one. Now, in this particular class, we are going to see that one. And if time permits, definitely we will start the next topic, that is formation of fibers using direct inspection method, right? Now I'm going to share my screen here. So there is a PDF document. Now you see here I am explaining the problem what we have started in the last class. So formation of fibers using singular transformation. Obtain or form the fibers. This is the problem what I have given you. Obtain or form the fibers. So y is equal to capital Y dia, and you will have the number of elements, that is 9, total 9 elements are there. Y10, Y20, Y30, Y40, Y34, Y12, Y23, Y24, Y13, Y13. Okay, all these elements are in diagonalized form. In diagonalized form, that means the total matrix is of size 9 by 9, and in that 9 by 9, upper half diagonal elements are 0, lower half diagonal elements are 0, and you will have only the diagonalized elements. Those are y10, y20, y30, etc. Okay, and the network is already given. So without having this network, we cannot solve this problem. Why? Because first of all, in order to obtain Y-bus formation, or in order to obtain Y-bus, you must have the information regarding the matrix. What is that matrix? Bus incidence matrix. So Y-bus is equal to A transpose multiplied by Y multiplied by capital A, right? So this is the formula. So what is A here? Nothing but bus incidence matrix. How can you obtain that bus incidence matrix? That can be obtained from element node incidence matrix. Okay, so it is mandatory to have the network. Okay, so this is the given problem. This is the given problem. Now we shall see step by step process. So this is the only problem that has been given in your university question paper so far. So definitely, if you are getting a problem from this topic, obviously you will get this one. Okay, or sometimes maybe these diagonalized elements will be changed. or maybe the network is changed, but the process is completely same as that of this one, right? Now see here. So this is the network given, and already we know that y bus is equal to A transpose into Y into A, where A is nothing but bus incidence. Just now I told you that where A is a bus incidence matrix. So this can be obtained from A bar. A bar is nothing but element node incidence matrix. A bar is nothing but element node incidence matrix, right? Now, first the step number one. So whenever you are getting this type of problems in your university question papers, you need to elaborate your answer step by step process. Okay. So what is the step number one? The step number one is you need to consider the graph that has been given. And by using that graph, first of all, you have to obtain A bar. A bar. A bar is nothing but a element node incidence matrix. Element node incidence matrix. Now you see here. So how many elements are there? So this is the graph. And now from this graph, you can obtain the number of elements. So now what is an element? Element is nothing but a line segment, or a line segment which connects two nodes. So how many line segments are there that are connecting two nodes? So here one is the first line segment which connects node 1 and node 0, and 2 is the line segment which connects node 2 and node 0. So similarly 3, similarly 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9. So total you will have 9 elements are there. How many number of buses or number of nodes here, including that? So you should not exclude that reference node while determining the element node incidence matrix. So in order to determine the element node incidence matrix, you have to, or you must consider that zeroth node or reference node also. So how many total number of nodes are there? So excluding, including 0, you will have total 5 nodes. Now, what is the size of A bar element node incidence matrix? So obviously E by N. E by N. So E by N means you will have 9 by 5 matrix size. 9 by 5 of size. So finally, A is equal to 9 by 5, right? Now see here whether it is correct or not. So on this line, so on this column, I am considering number of elements. On horizontal way, I am considering the number of nodes. So total of 9 by 5 size. So how can you substitute -1 or 1 or 0 or 0? I already explained the process. Suppose if you are considering 0th node and element 1, first of all, you have to analyze, or you have to check whether there is a connection between 0th node and element number 1 or not. If there is a connection is nothing but incidence here. Incidence is nothing but connectivity. That is the meaning of incidence. Okay, so first of all, you need to check whether there is a connectivity between element number 1 and node 0. So if you are finding any connectivity as there, on next step is you need to verify whether that is directed towards the 0th node or directed away from the 0th node. So if it is directed away from the 0th node, obviously you can substitute it as a -1 or 1. So obviously we know that the assumptions are very, very important. Alpha PQ is equal to -1, alpha PQ is equal to 1 and 0. So likewise, first of all, you need to obtain the element node incidence matrix. Okay, you please note down this. I will give you 2 minutes time for noting all these things. Immediately note down this matrix. Note down this matrix. Okay, right? So this is the element node incidence matrix of size 9 by 5. Okay. Now, how can you obtain the bus incidence matrix? How can you obtain the bus incidence matrix? That is also very simple. If you eliminate, if you just wait a minute. So if you eliminate the column corresponding to that reference node 0, if you eliminate this, obviously you will get the bus incidence matrix of size E by n minus 1. Now what is n here? The number of nodes. What is E? The total line segments are the number of elements that are connected. So E by n minus 1. So we already know that E is equal to 9, n is equal to 5. If you take the difference between, or if you take n minus 1 means obviously 5 minus 1, 4. That means we are going to exclude that column corresponding to the 0th node, right? Now that is the thing we are going to see here now. See, I don't know why most of the people or most of the students are absent in daily classes. See, attendance is very, very important. Okay. The process that we have followed in the earlier semester will not be followed in this semester also. Please do very careful. Please be very careful while attending the sessions. Attendance is very, very important. We are not the responsible for your attendance. Nothing is in our hands. Okay, this is a paid version. Obviously, your attendance, your login time, logout time, everything has been recorded. Okay, so later you will face difficulties. You are the only person that will face serious consequences without attending the classes. Okay. Now see here. So just I have eliminated the column which corresponds to the last, reference node. So this is the bus incidence matrix of size 9 by 4. So after obtaining that bus incidence matrix, now the next step is, so we got A, we got A. So now this is A. So in order to determine, or in order to form Y bus, what is the formula you must remember? So Y bus is equal to A transpose multiplied by Y multiplied by A. A transpose multiplied by Y multiplied by A. Okay. So just now we got the information regarding A. Now by using this A, we are going to obtain the A transpose. Just you are going to interchange the rows with the columns and columns with the rows. So 9 by 4 becomes 4 by 9. If you want, you can observe this also. Now this matrix size is of 4 by 9. Okay. So 1 0 0 0 1 0 0. So later we are going to multiply this with, so you please see here. So this is A transpose of size 4 by 9. Now this is admittance matrix, that what he has given, So Y10, so already in the problem itself, he has mentioned that dia means all the diagonal elements are Y10, Y20, Y30, Y40, Y34, Y12, Y23, Y2. So upper half diagonal elements are these one. So these are the upper half diagonal elements and these are the lower half diagonal elements. So except the diagonal elements, all the elements are equal to 0. So this is A trans, the first matrix is A transpose, second matrix is Y, and third one is 9 by 4, that is, now you see here. So this is, the first one is A transpose, second one is Y, and the third one is 4 by 9. So obviously you will get this one. Now you just see, please write down the answer, final answer. Write down the final answer, and if anybody has completed the Y-bus, or if anybody has completed this problem, you please check your answer with this one. So the final answer must be this one. The final answer must be this one. So A is equal to Y10 plus Y23 plus Y13. minus y23. So finally, the first A transpose matrix is of size. If A size is equal to 4 by 9, oh sorry, 9 by 4, A transpose is nothing but 4 by 9. So 4 by 9 multiplied by 9 by 9, and which is further multiplied by 9 by 4. So finally, your answer will have 4 by 4. The final matrix Y bus is equal to 4 by 4. So this is the final answer. Just wait a moment. Please note down the answer. Okay. So with this, we have completed. We have completed the formation of Y-bus using singular transformation. Now we are moving into the next topic, that is the last one that is left in the chapter number 1. So with this, we are going to conclude the chapter number 1 within 1 or 2 days. Okay. Now there is a time for starting of this particular topic. Now we are going to see the formation of Y-bus using direct inspection method. So this is a very easiest method, and my suggestion is, if you are suppose if you are not asked to follow any particular method, you directly refer this method for finding the Y-bus. Now we are following this method for determining the Y-bus for the load flows. That is the chapter number 2. Power flows are load flows. So similarly here I have written the particular thing, that is the load flow equations can be formed using either mesh analysis or node analysis on the basis of power system. So if you consider a power system, if you want to write a node equation or a mesh equation for a particular power system in order to obtain load flow. So load flow is nothing but how much real power and reactive power that are entered into a particular node and that can be leaving from that particular. If you are considering a node, it is mandatory to know what is the reactive power and what is the real power at that particular node. So these are all called the load flow equations. In order to find out or in order to determine these load flow equations, you are going to use the node analysis or mesh analysis. So for that purpose, suppose if I have given you a n bus system. So if your power system contains n number of buses, obviously you cannot decide that how many buses are there. But as far as the power system is concerned, that power system is n may be anything which is from 1 to n. So n may be 1 lakh or 2 lakh, whatever it may be. Okay, we don't bother about that one, but n is a variable parameter. Now consider this type of system which is as shown in the figure. So in this particular figure, I have considered an n bus system. Now that n bus, now you see here. So this is ith bus. You will have n number of buses here. So the first bus voltage is V1, second bus voltage is V2, third bus voltage is V3, and similarly up to the nth bus voltage. So the nth bus voltage is Vn. Okay. Now here I am considering one more bus, that is ith bus. Ith bus. So this can be considered as a ith bus. Now let us consider capital I suffix I is the total current that is entering into the ith bus. Total current that is entering into the ith bus. Now see here, I have written yi1, yi2, yi3 and yin. So these are the admittances which have been connected in between ith bus and nth bus. So here n may be 1, R2, R3, R4, R5, etc. up to n. But I is fixed. I is fixed. Suppose if you are considering I is equal to 1, every time you are going to determine the bus, admittance matter or admittance, why I1 is nothing but admittance which have been connected to that first bus and the nth bus. Okay, so similarly, I am not giving you the I detail, so let us keep that aside. Okay, now, but whatever it may be, here in this power system, you will have total 2 buses. The first bus is ith bus, second bus is nth bus. Okay, now here ith bus, capital I suffix I is the total current, ith bus current which is entering into the ith bus. Okay, now the leaving currents are different, that is that can be obtained later. Okay, and now yi1 is the admittance which have been connected in between the ith bus and first bus. yi2 is the admittance connected between ith bus and second bus. Similarly yi3, similarly yin. Now you see here yi0, this is the admittance connected between ith bus and reference bus. Now here 0 stands for the reference bus. That is the only indication. Now this is the power system we are considering, right? Now here I am going to explain in detail. So let I, capital I suffix I, be the current which is entering into the ith bus. Now consider the above system. So from the above system, capital I and I suffix I is the incoming current. Now that according to that KCL, if I have applied KCL at ith bus, obviously I suffix I should be equal to the sum of the leaving currents. Now what are the leaving currents? The current that is entering into that particular admittance matrix is nothing but I is equal to YV. Already we know that. We are very much know this relation, I is equal to Y into V. Why? Because we already know that Z is equal to V by VI. Is it not? Z is equal to V into I. So Y is equal to one by Z. Obviously you are going to revert this. So I is equal to Y into V. So finally I is equal to got it. So this is the formula already we know. We have seen the earlier case. So I is equal to Y into V. Now you see here, you see this diagram. So in this particular case, I suffix I be the total incoming current and these many number of outgoing currents are there. So according to that, I suffix I should be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 and so on up to IN plus this current should be added to that. So what is I1, what is I2 and so on, what is IN, that already we are going to see here now. Now you see, so capital I suffix I be the total incoming current that is entering into ith bus. Now the sum of the leaving currents are given by, now you see here, so here the first bus and the ith bus, the first bus and the ith bus have been connected, and yi1 be the admittance of that particular branch. So this is the current you need to consider, vi minus v1. So how can you obtain the node voltage? Suppose this is the first one, this is ith bus. So here we are going to determine these are the two nodes, the first node and second node. First node is vi, second node voltage is v1. So vi minus v1 into yi1 will gives you the first current, the first branch current. So this is the first outgoing current i1. Similarly I2, similarly I3, and so on up to IN. So every time you are going to take the difference between ith bus voltage and the particular node voltage. So Vi minus V1 into Yi1, Vi minus V2 into Yi2. So similarly Vi minus Vn into Yin plus Vi into Yi0. Okay. Now in the next step, now you see here this one. So just I have separated all the terms. So in all the terms, you will have one term is common, that is Vi. Vi term is common. So Vi into Yi1 minus V1 into Yi1 plus Vi into Yi2 minus V2 into Yi2, etc., etc. So just I have separated all the terms that contains the term Vi. So if you take Vi common from all the terms, you will have Yi1 plus Yi2 plus Yin and so on Yi0 minus V1 into Yi1 minus V2 into Yi2 minus Vn into so etc. See, just simply I have expanded all the terms. If you consider this, I have expanded all the terms and I have taken Vi term common from all the terms, which contains Vi as a common voltage, right? Now you see here. So in this case, I have separated Vi from all the terms, and I am considering that Yi is equal to, so the term which is in this bracket is considered as Yii. Okay, this is the self admittance, which is called self admittance. Later we will define that what is Yii. But here you have to remember this, in this particular case, Yii is equal to the combination of Y10 plus Yi1 plus Yi2 plus etc. Now this I is equal to I is equal to Yi1 into V1 plus Yi2 into V2. So this is the term which is left. Now you see here. Okay, so plus V I into Yii. So all the terms, this is related to the last previous step. You should be very careful. Okay, so we will discuss it later, but please note down this. First you note down this. First you draw this figure and you just note down, simply note down this. First you note down this figure, write down this one. Note down this and write down these equations. first you please note down all the equations. First you note down this equation. Later you will analyze how this equation will comes from, right? So you just stop this noting down these two equations only. Later we will discuss in detail, right? So the first equation and the second equation comes from only the first one. Just we have separated all the terms. Vi multiplied by yi1. Similarly, minus v1 into yi1. So etc. All the terms gets separated, and later you will take that va common from all the terms. That is different. We will do it in the next class. You first just note down the first two equations. Okay. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you please raise your doubts. So I will give you some time for clarifying those doubts. If you have any doubts, please raise your doubts. I think the strength is very poor. I don't know why the students are taking too light. Okay, so that's the end of the session now.